Greetings, Troma fans, and welcome to another Flesh Wound Troma special. I am Flesh Wound Dan, joined by Troma aficionado, Troma expert, producer Todd.
Good evening.
Yes.
You know what I was noticing in the Troma logo? It says almost 40 years. It needs to get upgraded. It needs to be almost 50 years.
It does. Yes. Troma 50. Troma 50.
Next year.
Yes. There should be a big, I wonder if they're planning like a festival or something for that, because it feels like there should be something big, epic for 50 years. I don't know if it coincides with Lloyd's birthday at all, but I mean,
I don't know.
Should be something big. Should be something just huge that the level of which they haven't done before. So bring back everybody. Just bring back everybody. Get Tiffany back, Debbie back. Just have them all show up for a big Troma film festival.
Let's see if they can get James back.
So we are talking safe sex tonight, and we're also talking Chilean slashers, which yet another Chilean movie that Ozzy V will never watch, but
you know, he wouldn't even have to use something, because I know this from Ozzy, that the Chilean Spanish, it's a different dialect, because when he does a Spanish commercial, he has to redo it's different.
Yeah, I know. So we could have him dub. We could have him dub Troma.
Oh my gosh! I'll tell him we have a job. We got to. Okay, maybe we can get him.
Do all the characters, just do the dubbing. But yes, guys, we're going to kick it off tonight with a 1996 precisely Troma favorite, and that
Troma
is
masterpiece. Come on,
Troma masterpiece. Todd's always going to correct me when I'm off on.
Well, yeah. I mean, how did you not say Troma masterpiece, Killer Condom?
From director Martin Waltz, and in this one, and I should also say it's a German film, and we'll get into it, but the plot takes place in New York City and in the present. In a hotel called Quickie, a professor blackmails a student of his into having sex with him. But when the professor puts on a condom, the carnivorous condom bites off his penis and disappears. Detective Macaroni, who gets the case, thinks that the college girl just bit off her teacher's penis, but Macaroni goes to the motel himself to check out the crime scene. What the fuck? In the lobby, he finds a gigolo named Bill and asks him to follow him to the crime room, where the two men attempt to have sex when they are suddenly interrupted by the attack of a killer condom. I'm going to just read IMDb synopsises that are done by somebody that doesn't speak the language, because they're hilarious. From now on, that's all you're going to get. I couldn't find my DVD of that for some reason, so I was like, okay, fuck it. That sounds good enough. So anyways, killer
condom. Commitment to the product. Fuck it. It's good enough.
Fuck it. It's good enough. And it's funny. So that works. So this was actually, there's some talent behind this. This was one of the last films that producer Erwin C. Dietrich worked on. Of course, Erwin C. Dietrich is known for his many, many collaborations with Jess Franco. If you're an sexploitation fan, Erwin C. Dietrich is a name you know well. Very important to me, because Jess Franco did some of his most memorable films with Erwin C. Dietrich. Also, for hardcore horror fans of the extreme, Jörg Buttgereit did some special effects on this, and he is, of course, known for Schramm and Necromantic more than anything else. He also worked on the Lex TV series, which I know you've never watched, but Lex would fit under the Troma banner. It really would. Lex is very weird. It's not hard sci-fi. It is something you should look into. It's a giant space dick. Also, look into it. Lex, you would enjoy. Todd. But
I don't know, Dan.
I'm not kidding at all. You don't have to believe me. You can look into it. Lex is a very culty show.
But you said Troma-ish.
It would absolutely Lex 100%.
So
anybody
it's got
that
titties
knows,
and gore.
Yeah.
You sold
it
me.
Definitely does. Yeah, not the sci-fi versions didn't have that, but
what did it air on?
So it aired. I know it aired on Space. It was a kind of complicated.
What the fuck is Space? Well,
Canadian sci-fi shit.
Okay.
Anybody in the comments, because Todd doesn't believe me, if you know Troma, which certainly you do if you're listening to this show, and you are aware of Lex, the TV series, you let him know that would absolutely fall under it.
You've already sold me, Dan. I'm going to give it a watch.
Yes. Season 1 is actually 4 TV movies. Malcolm McDowell's in it. Who else was in it? The villain in Human Centipede, Rutger Hauer. Tim Curry. Curry. It's one of my favorite cult shows, and I think you would love it. So
it's streaming on a bunch of places. So yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, make sure season 1. Like I said, it's a little complicated history there, but all right. So, what did you think of Killer Condom?
Well, Dan, I am a big fan of Killer Condom. I mean, I saw it the first time on the Troma DVD. It was like didn't know anything other than the title. And it wasn't an in-house production, so it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Popped it in, and this is 96, which it's funny the description called it the present 27 years ago, but whatever. Well, now it is. Yeah, it has that Troma feel without being, an in-house production. Like, and then you like. I always did want the comment. We never got the Killer Condom and the Dick Monster in this. Come on. That should have been the final fight of Troma. Just give me a cameo in Tromeo and Juliet. That's all I needed.
Needed more Dick Monster. Well, wait, with the year, because Tromeo and Juliet was in-house, so
yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It may not have.
Yeah, I think it actually came out before, a little before. Like Tromeo and Juliet was already in production by the time this did. But
yeah, that was like 97.
To be fair, they used the Troma dick in more than just that. It's also Noxic Avengers cock in Toxic Avenger 4. I want to say it pops up in Terra Firma. That thing, it's been around. I don't have the replica yet, so
that is an iconic penis. An iconic penis, absolutely. Yeah, this one I haven't watched it in a long time. I always thought it was really just wild, that shit. One I might have passed on back in '96, but then I think when I saw Erwin C. Dietrich and Jorg, I was like, okay, this might be something.
You saw the cover with that Killer Condom. It didn't say immediately, I must see this.
You know what? At that point, I think somebody said it's like, yeah, it's mostly man ass, and and then I was like, I don't know if I want to be watching Killer Condom, because if I back then, 96 back then, if I wanted to watch stuff on the big screen, which I usually did, I would have to watch that downstairs. So it sounded like Killer Condom was something I probably didn't want to have on downstairs, but I did watch it later. But yeah. So, and I would not recommend.
This was not the family film that you bring out moms and dads, all the cousins.
I was like, I don't know, like rubber monsters biting dicks off people. I was like, maybe I'll just have to watch this on my shitty bed. Well, not shitty, but not as good bedroom TV. So, yes. So, I enjoy the film. I think that, like a lot of these things, like maybe the joke wears thin a little bit. I did kind of like the sort of opening, like film noir kind of hardened detective vibe that they had. I would actually compare this. Did you ever see, and I believe it's another German film called Attack of the Troma? Kind of reminded me of that from like 2010, I believe, or something around there.
I not off the top of my head.
It might be another one that like maybe is only aired possibly on their streaming service. I know there's a few of those, but there's even more talent. H.R. Geiger, a creative consultant. So, but
I believe that's for when the condom's cutting. When they're like showing like the way it works. It has that Geigerish feel.
Yeah.
I'm sure they just sent him the picture. I guess he consulted.
Here's my money. It runs too long. That's one issue with it. It runs at 1 hour 47 minutes, where I was like, okay. I mean, it does have a pretty crazy finale in the pool and everything with the scientists, but I sort of felt like the shock value kind of had worn off by that point a little bit. It was a little bit blunted. I still enjoy this movie. I don't feel like it's it's one that I don't want to say works better as a short, but would have worked better as a shorter film.
They could have easily lopped off about 20 minutes and tightened it all up.
Yeah, it's like, I get it. The killer condoms biting off dicks. I'm kind of over that now. Like, I need something else. I think it kind of repeats itself a little too much. It's a popular film. In fact, I know, I can't remember the festival, but I think, I can't come up with the festival right now, but I remember somebody had told me like they saw it at a festival and like people were just losing their mind. So it might have a little bit of a midnight movie cult appeal to it. But it's not exactly made for me. I appreciated some of the effects, but this movie needed to be a lot shorter, if I'm being honest. And yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I do disagree. It's some of the higher tiered Troma, not in-house. The
production values, yes, it is definitely. Yeah.
Right. Well, we should keep an eye on that to find what the best of the non-Troma stuff is.
Blood-sucking freaks.
Well, no. That we've done, Dan.
Okay.
Yes. Like more newer stuff. Or not necessarily newer stuff, but yeah. Because you're gonna, if we just name them off, that's easy. But of some stuff we're revisiting and doing, of course, Blood-Sucking Freaks is gonna be the number one of the pickups.
Yeah, there's some great sequences in here. The rubber ducky, there's some funny bits. I just felt like it gets a little repetitive for me.
All right.
But yeah, it's on. I think it's on like some like greatest LGBTQ horror lists. So like people actually do hold this one pretty high. I don't know that it quite ranks that high, but I don't think it's Nightmare 2 level, but it's it's good. It's good. So Todd, what do you rate?
I know that's what man. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I still have fun with it. And my Troma ratings are always going to be biased and probably higher than they should be. So just as long as you all accept that.
All right. I'm a 2.5.
All right, that's fair.
I'm a 2.5. It's not one I'm going to revisit very often, but the killer condom monster sequences are pretty funny.
I think Macaroni's funny too. So I think he's our lead. So. It keeps you entertained. It's not one I go to. You revisit that often. And you know what? Rabid Grannies is another contender for pickup wise.
Yeah. That one will be interesting to do at some point. I feel like we might have done it, but I don't think we did it on YouTube. So
we definitely didn't do it for the Troma stuff. So yeah, we can absolutely on some of the ones we may have covered on that. I honestly think we just talked about that Blu-ray issue. I don't think we ever actually reviewed it.
Yeah. No, we. Yeah. I don't know. We probably didn't.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. All right. So a little more obscure than this, because Killer Condom is often referenced when you talk about Troma. This one, not so much. From 2000, and director writer Jorge Olguin, we have Angel Negro, and in this film, from the director of Sangra Eterna comes a tale that is perversely romantic and flesh-crawlingly terrifying. In the spirit of Hitchcock, Carpenter, and Raimi, Angel Negro will bring you into a nightmare from which you may never awaken. A tragic accident leads to the disturbing disappearance of a ravishing young girl named Angel Cruz. This mysterious manifestation occurs on the evening of Angel's high school graduation. Did Angel Cruz vanish, or did she die? 10 years later, the bodies of Angel Cruz's former classmates begin showing up dead, very dead. Is the ghost of Angel Cruz committing these murders, or has her spirit possessed someone still living? One of Angel's former classmates, Gabriel, now a forensic doctor, starts to investigate what is happening. He hopes to save himself and warn the rest of his former classmates. Will Gabriel uncover the truth of the Black Angel, or will he die trying? See, that DVD I could find. So, there we go. And that's why it was really, really long, too. So that's the cutoff. So, all right.
I'm surprised you didn't start talking about the interactive features.
Oh, yes, we do. It's all region. We get the traumatic goodies. We get
the Troma intelligence test. You know, we should play that on Patreon.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. So Jorge Olguin, really good filmmaker. He shot this film for roughly $25,000. He was when he was in college, and I would describe it kind of as a Chilean giallo, Chilean slasher, Chilean giallo. And he also made Eternal Blood, or Sangre Eterna, after. I actually think it came out after this, but it was obviously out for when this DVD came. That one made a little bit of noise. He did a zombie film called Descendants. He just recently, and it's on Blu-ray, made La Casa, which I have on Blu-ray. I haven't watched it yet, but I think it's a haunted house film. So he's remained active. Chilean. This is listed as the first Chilean horror movie. I don't know that that's entirely true, but it's not a region that was known for horror until, really recent years. We mentioned Troma, the Chilean film, which is an extreme horror film that we're big fans of here at Flesh Wound Features. And so this is kind of like coming that sort of Scream wave. I remember watching it back in the day and thinking like, oh, fuck, another. The Chilean aspect to it, because even when I was younger, I always tried to seek out foreign films and anything that kind of had a different lore behind it always interested me. So when I saw Chilean, I was like, okay, this is hopefully not just another like Scream wave knockoff. And it's not. It has a very kind of slower, methodical giallo vibe to it. It's not a particularly gory film. The killer, pretty basic looking mask. I know that was supposed to. There's kind of like some political subtext there with the blank mask that the killer uses. There is some authenticity. I know this was shot at portions of this were shot at an actual morgue. In fact, they could smell like just bodies while they were filming. So that was kind of an issue on this one. It does give it some impressive production value for a very low budget film. I like this one. It's kind of it's also partial found footage. because the tapes and everything kind of reveal some of the story as we go along. So it's also kind of a post Blair Witch film as well, with the found footage angle. I like it. I mean, you can kind of tell that this is the first, the first feature film for this director, but the acting was great straight across the board. I thought that was fantastic. It was shot in 16 millimeter and video, and considering the budgetary limitations, I think it's a solid film. One that definitely shows, because I'll have a lot of conversations about Troma with people where they're like, oh man, I'm not into like the bodily fluids and toilet humor. And I'm like, they pick up all kinds of stuff. It's not just that. This is actually kind of a classy little, Chilean giallo. And I like it. It's nothing mind blowing. I do think that Jorge certainly grew as a filmmaker as he went along. I want to say I didn't love Descendants, but the budgets definitely grew. I know this was a success in Chile. It did quite well because, again, it's an area more known for art films and, not commercial stuff like this. So I think it's worth checking out, particularly if you have an interest in that region and their cinema. I probably won't revisit it anytime soon, but I enjoyed it. I thought Blanca Lewin, who plays Angel, was really good. Very sympathetic character, in the sort of reveal what happened in the flashbacks. I wouldn't call it a classic horror film, but there's moments where it really kind of flirts with being much higher caliber than you'd expect from essentially a student film. What did you think, Ted?
Yeah, it's funny. This is kind of it's weird because like I miss that about Troma. Like when we used to get these titles and like it was pre-internet age, so I was buying whatever Troma was putting out because I was seeing small stuff from around the world. I mean,
not to stop you, was this a part of that infamous order where you got your first credit card and you just called up and ordered Troma like everything?
This is not part of it. I think I already had it. I don't know. It could have. Okay. We'll tell that story when we get to the big. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig through some boxes when we finish up this series. I don't know if we'll ever finish the series, but I'll definitely, I'll have to plan for that one. I got some cool Troma stuff. Shockingly.
Sweet.
But yeah, no, because now like we see a bunch of crap that like just like everywhere. Like I couldn't see like something like a little indie like a decapitated. No, camp. Decapitated.
Oh, decapitated. Yeah,
that's what I like. Something like something weird and different like that. I wouldn't, it was harder to find then. Now you're going to go find, whatever the hell you want. So that's what I always liked about Troma. Like it wasn't always good, but it was different, and it did its own thing. But then you'd once in a while find something like this. Like, well, for a first film, it's really good, but like this one stood out in that way because this was a much better put together film. There was just something about it at the time. Well, I don't like it as much as I originally did. I do still enjoy it. And for both of these, actually, they definitely I would love some remastered, Blu-rays, especially Killer Condom. I mean, they're both film, but I know that one would really, of the two current masters, would do the most because they do have the HD one for Angel Negro on Troma now. Don't think they do for Killer Condom. So,
yeah, I remember like, God, I think I remember like Parts of the Family was one. I think I can kind of remember picking up at Hollywood Video with this during a previewed sale. Decapitated was probably roughly around the same time, and I was like, okay, yeah, Angel Negro is definitely a different vibe for sure.
was Decapitated on VHS first? No, it was DVD. They came out DVD same time. I was trying to think. So I was trying to
This is
think which
that
ones I had.
era where, yeah, both. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Did you keep all your Troma VHS tapes too?
Here's the thing. Like, I don't. I was trying to figure that out the other day. Like, fuck, I wish I wouldn't have got rid of them. But then my brain was like, I don't think I did. I think they're in the garage somewhere. The one thing I do regret getting rid of is my Toxic Avenger VHS tape. When I got the Troma one, the special one with all the extras, I got rid of my Lightning videotape. Still regret that to this day.
Yeah, that surprises me because you seem like somebody that if it was Troma, you just kept it all.
I was like, well, this is the better quality. I don't need the other one because it was like definitive copy, not multiple copies. Was how much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I had to make that hard choice.
But yet, I do own every Toxic Avenger DVD. I don't get rid of those.
Yeah.
I will, in the next few months, or depending when you watch this, I will own probably more Toxic Avenger box sets than anything else. At least it'll be tied with a couple.
There you go. There you go. So. And who knows? Maybe we'll get some of these titles on Blu-ray at some point. It feels like Killer Condom. You will.
Yeah. Well, it's going to go on the remaster and because again, overseas ones are a little harder.
Yeah.
Look at Rapid Granny's DVD, which or Blu-ray. Sorry, Blu-ray. So we had the international ones tonight. So that was different.
Trying to fit a theme. I think parts of the family and Decapitated certainly fit. So
yeah,
maybe we get that at some point.
Yeah, I think our next one we're supposed to have a special guest. So.
But what do you? Oh, okay. What do you rate Angel Negro?
Oh, geez, I didn't even do. I'm still 3.5 on this one.
Yeah, I'm a 3. If it had a little more, it's very well made. I don't know that it has a lot of rewatch factor for me, but yeah, 3. Check it out if you're a fan of Chilean films. It's certainly historical. So
yeah, I haven't watched in probably 20 years. So,
well,
but if I want to, I grab the DVD.
All right, guys. So be sure to tune in next time. Good night.